it was positive for lupus. Now, lupus, from my understanding, is very hard to detect. So one of the tests that actually came back for lupus, they was like, she was kind of surprised because she was saying that, I'm thinking with you having all the, problems that's going on, you should have a flare-up. So that test should have been positive. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to treat you for it, give you the medication, and we'll just, re-examine you within a few weeks, couple months or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. Well, when I started this medication, I started having like severe back pain. And then I discovered a new lump up under my arm. But at that time, I'm thinking, okay, because I just shaved. And, sometimes as female, when you shave, you kind of get that little cyst up under your arm.
Yeah.
The little board cyst. So that's what I thought it was.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I didn't really think much about it. But then I said, I'm having a lot of pain in my body, and I'm having a lot of sensitivity. I was like, then I got this new lump up under my arm. I was like, let me just go to the doctor and just make sure that, this is having nothing to do with my breast. Well, when I went to the doctor, they, felt like I should get a mammogram, which is what I did. And at that time, before I was getting ready to leave, she said, honey, we're going to do ultrasound. The doctor want to do ultrasound before you leave. And I said, okay. Well, that was different. And the look that she had on her face was a little different. So after the ultrasound, she was like, we'll give you a call once you get the results. Well, I left there driving to work. Before I even got to work, I got a phone call. And she was like, are you at a place where you can talk? And I said, well, I'm about to be at work. I'll call you back. And she said, well, when you get there, just call us. So I said, okay. Went to work, went to my office. And of course, it was some other little things that took place, but I'm just trying to make it short. Called them back, and indeed they said that it was positive for, it showed that it was breast cancer. So they wanted me to come to the surgeon, go ahead and schedule. I'm thinking, okay, we're going to go ahead and schedule a mastectomy, do chemo, be done with it. I've seen people,
so you're thinking you get ready to do the same treatment.
Exactly.
So you're thinking get ready to do the same treatment that you did before.
I'm thinking we get ready to do the same treatment. Well, I'm thinking we get the same treatment and be done with it. Well, when me and my husband went, when you go into the doctor's office, they have little posters, and, they have like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And I knew the basics about stage 4 because my dad passed away from stage 4 colon cancer in 2016. But, being a man, being a dad, they don't, they try to keep a lot from their kids. So even then, I didn't really see a whole lot. But I just knew stage 4, like everybody else. That's the end. That's death. Like, I'm like, well, thank goodness it's not stage 4. And the doctor walked in the office, and she was a young doctor, and she had tears in her eyes. And I'm like, okay, what is going on?
Why is she crying?
And she said, Miss Reese, she said, we're not going to be able to schedule surgery because the cancer had already spread. And I'm like,
wow,
what? Here I am, young, 39. I have I have a young kid, 9 years old. I have a husband. I have 2 other children. I have a whole lot of life. And I'm like, there's no way possible. Like, I'm a health person. I go to the gym. Anytime something's wrong with me, I go to the doctor. I stay on top of it. So I'm like, how in the world could this have happened? So I'm trying to think of that. I have a lot of anger going on, and I'm just lost because I just had no idea. Like, how did I get here? Like, this wasn't even supposed to happen. So they sent me, to my local doctor office to start treatment. I started treatment. The first treatment didn't work. Second treatment didn't work. Third treatment. And I'm just like, okay, now it's time to move to somewhere else. So I moved to, which is 2 hours away from me, which is UNC. And I also went and got another, like a third opinion. I went to the Dana-Farber Cancer Center to make sure, since none of the treatments was working, I'm like, okay, well, are we going to run out of options? So I'm still doing research because all this is new, for me. And when I tell you, it is once we started going through like all the treatments and everything, it was just really tough. It's tough on your body, the side effects that you go through, and people have to remember, life just don't stop when you're diagnosed with cancer. You still have work, you still got to pay bills, you still have, other issues along the way, and you're trying to adapt to all of this, but you're also trying to be strong for your family so that way, you can kind of cope with it. And in the midst, you see a lot of people that you meet in this world, and you start seeing people dying. And then, that fear started to kick in. So I started having, panic attacks because it's like the unknown, like you don't know what's going on. And so for me, the cancer has spread pretty much from the top of my head all the way to my knees, throughout my whole body and my lungs.
Wow.
Well, I just found out about 4 weeks ago the cancer has spread to my brain. So I started a new treatment to start that process. And when that started, once it spread to the brain, I was kind of like devastated because I'm like, okay, now what? Like, how am I going to be able to grasp this whole thing? And it's just like, it's just a scary thing. So, and people don't realize, because I didn't know cancer was could be so painful. And for some people, like if you have it in certain parts of your brain, your body, it may not bother you, but when you have multiple bone mets, that is very, very painful. And there's times where I could be in my bed for 3 days straight and cannot get out, cannot move, cannot do anything. And I had to learn to listen to my body because I'm so used to being on the go that I was still working. And I just stopped working because when I started having the headaches, and I want to say this right quick, I started advocating and I started, researching, trying to find out things for myself because, and I tell people, listen to your body. Whenever I got a scan, the skin did not show. The skin did not show that I had brain mets, and I kept telling them. I said, "Look, I'm starting to have headaches. I'm feeling dizzy. This is different, And one of the nurses was like, oh, maybe it's the weather. I told my doctor, I said, no, it's not the weather. And that's one thing about her. This is my third physician. I had to get rid of the other two because we wasn't on the same page. And as a patient,
sometimes you got to do that.
You do because you become an expert of your own body.
You become,
and it's like,
absolutely.
I know my body. I know the changes. We have to be a team at this. So this physician that I have now, she's very good as far as listening and being a team. But anyway, the bone scan didn't show that I had brain mets. So I said, you know what, for a peace of mind, let's go ahead and do an MRI anyway. Sure enough, when we did the MRI, it did show that it was brain tumors. And she was like, Keila, I'm so happy that you told me to do that test because no telling when we would have to find out because of the mets that I have in my skull. It kind of hid that where it wasn't able, you was able to see it.
Okay. Well, Nani, hang tight. I want to thank you for sharing that awesome story. We're going to continue to talk to you in a minute, but hang tight. I'm going to keep you on. But I want to bring in Deltra. Deltra, are you there? Deltra, are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm
here. Hey, all right, Deltra. I have Nani on too. She just gave her awesome testimony of story of how she was diagnosed.
Thank you, Nani.
With metastatic breast cancer. So, Deltra, how? First of all, tell everyone how did we connect, and how did you get diagnosed with MBC and so forth?
I think if I remember correctly, we connected through the Breast Cancer Baddies group.
Yes, we did.
For the Breast of Us. Yeah.
Yes.
For the Breast of Us.
Website and resource.
Yes.
For those that are going through or surviving with breast cancer, for the Breast of Us has some wonderful information resources for you to go to. So yes, we did meet. We met on that website, and go ahead.
So we met on that website, and I'm actually, call myself a newbie to the whole cancer world. I was just diagnosed, what do they call it, de novo, so right out the gate with metastatic breast cancer in this past August 2019. So in the summer, in July, I noticed a lump in my left breast. I noticed it myself. People always ask me if I found it myself. Yes, I did, because I'm 33 years old, so I'm too young for a mammogram, and I don't have any family history, so they were not on my radar for, a few more years. But I felt the lump, wasn't very alarmed, surprisingly, because I'm one of those people who's, constantly, let me go get this checked out, one of those kind of people. But I wasn't too alarmed. I went ahead and made an appointment, though, and went to go and see my doctor, who felt it for me, and then set me up with the ultrasound tech at the end of the week. And I went in there, and I again wasn't feeling too nervous until the ultrasound tech started looking concerned, which of course freaked me out. And then she went and grabbed the doctor to come and look at the screen and see what she was seeing, and they both looked concerned. And then he just kind of, tried to reassure me and was like, well, you're young, and so it's probably, something benign. So we went from there with me, of course, doing a biopsy. And, of course, then I'm a nervous wreck, but still just kind of feeling like, no, it's probably not going to be anything. The odds are probably in my favor. And then just a couple days, 2 to 3 days after my biopsy, the doctor called and was like, unfortunately, the results were not what we hoped for, and it was cancer. And so, of course, I'm feeling very shocked. But then I was just, you get into a mix of extreme anxiety in that waiting period where they're doing all these scans and tests to find out where things are at and what they need to do, and, learning about your specific cancer. And so while that was going on, I just kind of, swung between nervous wreck and really hopeful and learning all I can and getting basically into fight mode, like so many people do, because they're, everybody knows somebody who's had breast cancer and quote unquote beat it. And so there's always someone who can link you up with somebody who can encourage you. And so that's what I was dealing with. And just get in a fight mode. And then just a few weeks after my initial diagnosis with breast cancer, I found out that it had spread to my liver. When they did the whole workup, everything scanned, and I had been having some bone and achy bone and back pain, so I was really concerned about that. But my bone was all clear. But then they just saw this one little spot on my liver, and the doctor was just like, it's the liver. Everyone has some stuff in their liver, don't freak out about it. So I kind of didn't freak out about it. The biopsy I freaked out about because that was horrifying, the liver biopsy. But, I wasn't too freaked out about it. And then I went in to get the results and see my doctor, and I just wasn't feeling very concerned. It was positive that she was going to tell me, it was nothing. And was just kind of, it went into her office not in a really fearful headspace, and just was really kind of knocked off my feet when she said, those results aren't what we were expecting, and the liver spot was came back as showing as breast cancer.